Hello everyone, welcome to episode 4 of how to make a mod for Slime Rancher 1. This time we're going to be covering making crops, hens, and slime science items. So I suppose we shall begin. First off, we're going to need icons like last time. We're also going to need something that's called ramps. So first of all, just to make icons, it's pretty simple. We're going to need the icons for the type of slime science items we're making. For this one, I think we'll just do a very basic one. So let's go get something. We're probably going to be doing a deep brine edit. We're going to do an edited version of deep brine. So let's go ahead and then we can save image as. And we're going to make something. Let's call it our crazy cool soup. Yep, that's what we're going to call it. .png. Let's go ahead and get the other two as well. We're going to get crazy cool soup. We're going to need a chicken hen texture as well as a veggie. For the veggie, let's see. What's a good veggie to edit? Trying to remember. Silver parsnip. Parsnip. That should be an interesting veggie to edit. I haven't done one before. So let's save image as our crazy cool crazy cool super veggie. So that's a great name. You know it's great because of how long it is. We're going to call it the crazy cool super veggie. And now we're going to do the hens. We're just going to get a basic chickadee. Actually, what other types of chickadee are there? Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and try to do a stony hen for this example. Because I think this will be more fun to try and edit. So we're going to do this. We go here, save image as, and we're going to do a crazy cool chick. Crazy cool chick. Forgot to do. But you have to do PNG, otherwise it will save it as a web file. We don't want a web file, so we're going to do crazy cool chick, save, cool, that one's now right, and Stony Hen, Slime Rancher 1, and we're going to save image as crazy cool hen. Cool, there we go. Alright, now that we have our hen pictures and all of that, we can go ahead and start editing our PNGs. So let me go to downloads. Oh yeah, they're not in here. We're going to go to these downloads, and we're going to open up all of these files. And apparently it opened them all twice, so we can close one of these. Cool. So we can go ahead and, just to make our life easier, we're just going to apply the same effect to all of them. Of course, in reality, you're probably going to want to make these look however you want, but this is just the easy way of doing things so that I don't have to make a new look for every single thing we add. So this is how they're all going to look. These honestly don't look too bad. This one actually kind of looks interesting. So we now have to make our ramp files. Let me just overwrite all of these. And ramp files are special files used in a lot of textures. A lot of times they're just gradients, and that's how we're going to design them here, is as some variants. So we're going to get file, new. I don't exactly know what size we should do. Let's just do something easy. They're going to be longer. can do something like 300 by 75, or I guess 85 works. So if we go okay, this is the color it has right now. We're going to use the tool. Actually, I think this is it right here. Gradient. Cool. Now we're going to select our colors. As you can see, a lot of them have this like bluish green look. So we're going to go get a blue, green, and we're going to select a slightly different green. We're going to make it a little bit bluer, maybe a little darker. That looks good. That looks nice right there. So what are we going to export this as? We're going to export as, we have to go find our one tutorial. And we're going to call this PNG right here the sprite. I'm going to call it sprite ramp. Sprite ramp. Let's call this sprite ramp main. Now we can go ahead and make another file new. We should already have this. Boop. All right, now it's this color. Now, if we look at these, we also need another ramp. We should probably just get a green ramp as well. So we're going to get a ramp that is just green. Let's actually get you. We can take you, and then we can make you a bit darker. And then we can actually make a gradient where it's like kind of interesting one. There we go. That looks cool. So we're going to export as sprite ramp. We'll call you sprite ramp green. Export. And we're going to have to experiment to figure out which sprite ramps do what. But that should be good for sprite ramp green. Now for this hen, or the chick, you see this reddish stuff. So we're going to need a file new. So it's going to be a file new. Boop. Okay. Now to get the colors, we're actually going to go here, and we're going to click the color picker tool. We're going to pick pink. And we're going to pick, and the other one we're going to pick is this color. For this one, we're going to go with a ramp that looks something like this. There we go. And we're going to call this our sprite ramp. We'll call this sprite ramp red. So there we go. And let's export. Now we've made all of our ramp files. And again, ramp files just work kind of as a special type of texture. And this should be good enough to be able to make all three of our things. This doesn't use ramps, you'll see later, but we're going to use slime materials to make this. So now we're going to go to our tutorial here. We're going to go to our mod. And you'll, of course, notice that we don't see any of them. You just click refresh, and they'll all show up. Now we have to go include all of these. If I go can I include all? No. Okay. Include a project, include a project, include a project, and probably the rest are all down here. So we're going to have all of these included in the project. And besides that, we have to go set all of their build maps, build actions to embedded resource. Again, this is just the setting they have to be set up for to add resources into the game. To add your icons or other textures, you have to set them to this. There we go. Now this is good. So now we have to actually create it. So let's start off with the IDs. Of course, we're also going to create a pedia for our crop here. So we're going to do pedia, crazy, cool, super, and then we can go veggie. And now for the rest of you, we're going to set you, we need, how many more do we need? Actually, we have to do another one. We have to do two more. Forgot. So we have to do two more. This is going to be crazy cool hen and crazy cool, what was it? Crazy cool soup. Oh, now again, we have to create the ones over here. So let's just create one of these. I just copy and paste these because there's no point. You never really change most of this unless you're changing this part, which we already have both the ones that we need. Actually, we're going to need to create another one. I forgot about that. So we're going to do crazy cool, veggie. Super as well. Then we have to do crazy cool hen. Hen. We got crazy cool chick. Crazy cool soup. And I'm going to go ahead and put soup underscore craft because that's technically what you're supposed to do for these. So that should be good. That should be all the IDs we need, besides a new type of ID that we need, which is called spawn resource. And spawn resource.id. We're going to call this the crazy cool super G underscore farm. And I'm also going to create another one, which is going to be called farm TX. This is for the deluxe farm. So now that we have all of this, which is a lot, I know, but now we can get into this. I do not believe there is any preload functions necessary. Let me go check to make sure. Spawners. It looks like we have to set up the names here where this sets its names up, but we'll try it the other way. We'll try doing this a normal way. Let's see. So first of all, before we do any Slimepedia type stuff, which will be all here, let's go ahead and try and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and copy you. It said you to be before this. Here, separate this. So now we're going to go to we're going to set up a var called crazy cool super veggie equals. Now we're going to go crop creation dot create crop. We're going to do the one that says no F model. This is because the F model breaks everything, so we're going to avoid doing that. No F model. So next we have the ID, which is, of course, IDs dot. I am lost. I have become lost. Crazy cool super veggie. Next, we're going to have the name, which is, of course, good old crazy cool super veggie. Next, we have the asset bundle used, which is a game object. Wait, no, we have base crop. Base crop is, of course, parsnip. Asset bundle used. I'm not using an asset bundle. I don't think this asset bundle is referenced in this function or matters. It's apparently a game object. What does that mean? We can just set this to game object dot. Is there one for empty? No. All right. Well, whatever. We're gonna set a game object called empty. Empty game object equals new game object, where name equals empty game object. I don't believe there's anything else. That's important. No. So then we're going to set this to our empty game object. This is essentially just creating an object that doesn't do anything to set to this because I shouldn't need it, as far as I understand it. Next, we have our size, which is how big it is. And this is where things get really annoying and complicated. We're going to try out new vector 3. going to try out setting this to just 1, 1, 1. And we have hitbox size, which is again just going to be try to set this to new vector 3, 1, 1, 1. And we don't need that. So this should be all good. So next step of creating one. Actually, I forgot. We don't want this. Instead, what we're going to do is go crop creation. Crop material. I forgot that there was an overload, so we can go ahead and get rid of this. Anyway, so now you'll see that it's referencing these amps. Our base ID is going to be the parse node. So, and then we're going to go for our red ramp. I don't actually know which ones are which, so I'm going to just roughly assume which ones I should set to which. So we're going to get texture, utils, load image. We're going to load our sprite, ramp main. We'll go ahead and copy this. We'll go ahead and set them all to main, except for the one that says green. Green one, we're going to set you to green. And I forgot to put PNG on all of these, so let's go ahead and do that. .png. So this theoretically should be setting up our crop. I feel like I'm already going way over in time, but whatever. Should create all the images we need and create the material. Next, we have to load our crop in. You think, yes, I'll just load in my crop now. So you go this, you go load crop. And actually, yeah, this is what you do next. You can't just load the crop in. It's that we have to create the farms next as well. So we can go ahead and go IDs dot crazy cool super veggie crop to load is crazy cool super veggie is not food is false is veggie is true is fruit is false. Set that. That last one option there is if you wanted it to be set as a meat. For the most part, you don't ever need to set crops as meats, so it's fine. But if you ever wanted to in the future set up a crop as a meat, then that's how you do it. So this should load in our crop. So let's go ahead and test here before we get any further, just to make sure that our crop does in fact load into the game correctly. There's a million ways I could have messed up this, so let's go ahead and check first things first. Of course, we also need to check if our texture was set correctly, because I don't actually know what the ramps do for a silver parsnip, which is a use for Unity Explorer, is figuring out which ramp does what for each and every crop and hen. So anyway, but we can do this the old-fashioned way and just see how this works. This might take a little while. Again, I just have a bunch of mods. Ideally, I don't need this many mods to test it, and ideally you wouldn't have this many, but a lot of these are useful. There's also, of course, the eatmaps command, which is in ztest, which is also a functional mod, so it actually adds features as well. But ztest also had a command added for utility while making it. So if you ever need to check what eatmaps anything has, you can use it. All right, time to see if this works. That's not too shocking. Spawn crazy cool super ready. So as you can see, it's very small, but it looks exactly how we want it to look. Exactly right. Of course, I don't think we can back it up anyway because we haven't set it up. Hey, you, get out of here. Of course, it's already set up as a veggie, but it doesn't have it say its name. It doesn't look like. is it erroring? Okay, whatever. My mouse got stuck. All right. Are you hungry? No. Question of which ones of you are hungry. I don't know. I fed a lot of you. Let's go ahead and go. Let's go ahead and spawn one in. We can just spawn really any slime. Rock slime, and then let's go ahead and spawn our crazy cool veggie. And it looks like we have some kind of strange bug. Oh, there it goes. It finally ate it. Alright, that means everything we have is working. Forgot to change the range since last time. We can go ahead and do that now. But we also need to change the size, but the ramps look good. So we can go ahead and just divide it by 3. Anyway, now once we go over here, we should probably change this. Now, I don't actually know which one changes what. So I'm going to assume that we can set this to roughly 1. 1, these should all be 2 probably. And then we can do 2.2, and we can set these. And we can set you to 1.6 F. 0.8 F, and we'll see if this looks better. Next, we have to also do farms. So let's go ahead and go on to that. So crop creation dot load. Now we're just going to go straight into loading farm setup. If you actually wanted to do more advanced stuff, you could, but for this, we're just going to do this. So base veggie farm. Spawn resource. And farm setup. Hold on. Load. Okay. We want load farm setup. I got confused. We're going to do load farm setup. First things first is it needs the crop ID. We're going to do IDs like crazy. Then we have a game object that we need. For this, we're going to do this without creating variables. That's because there's really no reason that you need to create these most of the time. So there are some rare cases. Veggie farm setup. And we're going to do base veggie farm is the parsnip veggie. Patch is what it's called. So this is our first one, which is supposed to be the regular, one, and then you also have to create one for the deluxe farm. Next, we have the patch name. We can just call you Crazy Cool Veggie Patch 1. That makes sense. And spawn resource is, of course, IDs dot Crazy Cool Veggie Farm, which is why we had to make those earlier. This is the main veggie thing, so we can just do a new array. What we're going to put in the array is just our Crazy Cool Veggie. Our Crazy Cool Super Veggie is it. Next, in this other one, which is bonus veggies, for things like odd onions, you would set the odd onions as a bonus veggie, and things like that. However, we don't have a bonus veggie, so we're going to simply set this to a new game object. And we're going to set you to an empty array. Next, we have max spawn. This is the maximum amount of veggies that can spawn. We're going to go ahead and set this to 20. This is the minimum that can spawn. We'll set this to 10. This is the minimum amount of time it takes for the thing to finish growing. I don't really know what a good one for this number is, so let's just set you to something like 80, and then we'll do max times 150. Actually, let me go check something. Let me go get a reference guide. So for this, it looks like I set it to 24 and 8. Interesting. So it doesn't look like it needs to be too high. We'll go ahead and just set you to 15 and 20. Next is the float is the bonus chance. We'll have it 0 because it should never spawn those in. Minimum is 0 again because we don't have any. And the sprout ID and veggie ID. This should be able to just be our crop. So we can go ahead and just do IDs. Dot. Next, we have to create this entire farm again. So we're going to recopy this. We're going to copy this just to make our lives a little easier. Now, what do you need to edit in your second version of all of this? One, we need to up the numbers. We're going to up it up to 30 and 20. We're going to set, and the time can be the exact same actually. We're going to call you the DX1. We're going to set you to DX as well. We're going to set you to the deluxe version of the parsnip patch, which is parsnip underscore deluxe. We couldn't go ahead and actually change that. So just to keep this with the normal naming scheme of the game, we're going to go, oh wait, that's not what I want to do. We're going to go ahead and change this to underscore deluxe. Apply. So by the way, I used the rename feature in Visual Studio that allows it to rename across all of your files. As long as you, renaming IDs is fine as long as you haven't loaded any saves and they aren't released with those. If you have to change them afterwards, you have to do a special patch, a certain extra thing to make sure that people don't lose progress and corrupt saves. So anyway, so this is crazy cool super veggie, and this should be good. So this should load in our farm. We're gonna go ahead and get started when it comes to the our veggie here. So it's the Slimepedia, that is. So we can go ahead and I forgot to keep this here. So let me go check how this handles Slimepedias of this. I believe that this also loads. It's a Slimepedia icon. Yeah, we still need to load the Slimepedia icon, so let's go ahead and do this. Slimepedia creation dot load Slimepedia icon. IDs dot cool veggie, and then we're going to take this code right here. Life real easy, and we're going to do super G. Oh, this needs to be the pedia ID. Forgot. It's to do pedia. Of course, there's also another way of doing this. Instead of having this all in one IDs file, you might do multiple IDs classes where you can have them all have the same name, but that requires multiple classes. For this example, I'm doing one class and in the same file. Normally, you'd have a separate file and might do separate classes so that things can be neater. Anyway, now that we have this, we need to create one of these. Load Slimepedia connection. This time we're going to be in dot resources. We're going to be doing the super veggie, super underscore veggie. We're going to be connecting it, of course, to our super veggie. And that should be good. Again, this connects it so that when you pick it up, it knows what Slimepedia you use. How ridiculously long have I spent doing all this? I'm almost at 30 minutes already. That is not good. All right. So I'm going to probably have to break this episode up into parts that I didn't want to break it up into. But this is how you create a veggie. So we do this, and now we have to create a Slimepedia for a veggie. So let's go Slimepedia creation dot create Slimepedia for item with name. So Next, we're going to do our, of course, IDs.pedia super veggie. And then we're going to do IDs dot, and then we're going to do the name. ID is IDs dot crazy cool super veggie, regular one. And we're going to have our name. This is just, of course, going to be crazy cool super veggie. We have the intro, which is crazy cool super healthy snack. Super healthy snack. Next is its type. Its type is veggie. That wasn't obvious. It's favored by question marks because we haven't added any slimes to favorite it yet. Its about is going to say that this veggie has been found to be magically healthy. Yum, yum. And on the ranch doesn't work right now, as far as I know. But we can go ahead and say that this veggie is pretty plentiful, very healthy for your slimes. So that should be good. We may have to, let me go ahead and add one of these as well, just in case. So we're going to go cool. So this should work, and we should now have our veggie in game. I did not intend to have to split this up into multiple parts. I am sorry. Let me go. I really thought I could fit in all three in one episode. But for now, we'll have to just handle with veggies. But it's because there's a lot of setup and code involved creating a veggie. Similarly, the hen might take a while, but try to get it through. I'll try to get through both of them in the next part. So we'll be splitting up episode 4 into 2 parts. All right, let's continue. So far, no errors, which is a good sign for our veggie. I forgot something. We're going to have to set up a vac item for it. So that means this is not quite done yet. Where did it go? Spawn super. Crazy cool. I forgot already. And this looks like a fine size. It's a bit bigger. But of course, you can't vac it up yet. So what we're going to have to do is add a vac item. So I forgot about this. We're going to be using a tool called vac item creation. So vac item creation. This is for making things vac item, vackable. Do vac item. We're going to set its size to normal, of course, because we want to be able to vac it. We're going to set the object, which is what you're vacuuming, to, of course, our crazy cool super veggie. The ID is, of course, our crazy cool super veggie. Its name is, guess what? Crazy cool super veggie. This should already be loaded, though. Next, we have its icon. So, of course, we can go get this icon from right here. Same icon. And then we have the color, which can be a new color 32. And let's go figure out what color it was. So um, it's roughly 0, 38, 36. So let's go with that. So we'll do 0, 38, 36, 235. There we go. That should be good. Now we're going to test this again, and this should be backable, and we are done. I guess we should probably test to make sure that we can add it, of course, that it works, and that every part of it works. We're going to have to create a garden for it and all that. Waiting for Slime Rancher to load. It takes forever. I have way too many mods installed. This adds like 20 minutes to these tutorials. Please don't tell me what we've crossed the way too long mark. Oh gosh, dang it! All right. Oh, what happened there? Did I accidentally stop? What? No. Wait. Well, let me go check something. Nah, I did something weird. All right, this time we're gonna do it, but not crash Slime Rancher. Hopefully I can get this whole thing done in 2 parts. All right, continue. Now we should be able to vac it, and we can test if it will work in a garden. We can also look at its Slimepedia. So this is a regular carrot. It picks up. There it is. There's our Slimepedia entry. We should be able to go to resources. There it is. Crazy cool. And as you can see, the about on the ranch thing doesn't show up. I can't help that much. Now let's go check if this should be already bought for me. Can you go see if this can grow? So let's go make a garden. That should all be good. Look at that, it's growing. You can see all the plants here. I'm going to go ahead and use the sleepwalk function to speed up time for us. Okay, and look at all these plants. Got a total of 14. That's between our 10 and 20. Let's go ahead and buy the deluxe upgrade, which should grow it. And then we can use sleepwalk again. All right. Cool. Well, we had 14 before, so now we're on 4. Just to see how many we get. We got 21. That's very nice. Now we have our crazy cool super veggie. I think we're done. I hope you learned something. I will continue what we are doing today in part 2. Hopefully I can get it done faster. So see you in part 2.